Welcome back, movie lovers. Today we're riding straight into the wild frontier as we count down the top 10 greatest Western movies ever made, packed with legendary gunslingers, epic standoffs, unforgettable stories, and non-stop action. Saddle up because this countdown is going to be absolutely incredible. Let's get started. Coming in at number 10, The Hateful Eight. The story is set in Wyoming during a brutal blizzard shortly after the Civil War. Bounty hunter John, the Hangman. Ruth is transporting his captive, the murderous Daisy Domergue, to the town of Red Rock for justice. Along the way, they encounter two strangers, Major Marquis Warren, a notorious bounty hunter, and Chris Mannix, who claims to be the town's new sheriff. Forced to seek shelter from the storm at Minnie's haberdashery, the travelers find four unfamiliar faces already inside. As the howling wind traps them together, the eight strangers grow increasingly suspicious of one another, and it becomes clear that not everyone will survive until morning. Coming in at number 9, No Country for Old Men. The story is set in the desolate landscape of West Texas in 1980. While hunting, welder Llewellyn Moss stumbles upon the grisly aftermath of a drug deal gone wrong and discovers a satchel containing $2 million. Instead of reporting the find, he takes the money, setting off a violent chain of events. He soon finds himself relentlessly pursued by Anton Chigurh, a psychopathic hitman who uses a captive lead bolt pistol and operates by his own twisted moral code. As Chigurh leaves a trail of carnage in his wake, aging Sheriff Ed Tom Bell desperately tries to track them both down and make sense of the escalating violence. Coming in at number 8, 310 to Yuma. The story follows Dan Evans, a struggling Civil War veteran and rancher who is desperate to save his family's land. When the infamous outlaw Ben Wade is captured after a stagecoach robbery, Evans volunteers to escort him to the town of Contention to catch the 310 train to Yuma prison, all for a $200 reward. As the small group makes the perilous journey, they are relentlessly pursued by Wade's vengeful gang. During the tense ride, a battle of wills develops between the principled rancher and the charismatic killer, forcing both men to confront their own definitions of honor, courage, and survival. Coming in at number 7, The Magnificent Seven. The story is set in the frontier town of Rose Creek, which is under the deadly control of the ruthless industrialist Bartholomew Bogue. After Bogue murders her husband, a young widow named Emma Cullen seeks out help and hires Sam Chisholm, a warrant officer and bounty hunter. Chisholm assembles a motley crew of 7 outlaws, gamblers, and hired guns, Josh Faraday, a gambler, Goodnight Robichaux, a sharpshooter, and others. Their mission is to defend the helpless town against Bogue's private army. As they train the townspeople for an epic showdown, these 7 mercenaries find themselves fighting for much more than just the money. Coming in at number 6, for a few dollars. More. The story revolves around 2 bounty hunters with contrasting styles. The young, efficient Manco and Colonel Douglas Mortimer, a former Army officer turned meticulous gunman. Both are independently on the trail of Indio, a sadistic and brilliant outlaw who has escaped from prison. After a tense standoff, they decide to form an uneasy alliance to capture Indio alive for a larger reward. Manco infiltrates Indio's gang, while Mortimer poses as a safecracker. As they prepare for a major bank heist, it is revealed that Mortimer has a deep personal score to settle with Indio, turning the hunt into a matter of vengeance. Coming in at number 5, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. The story follows 2 charming outlaws, Butch Cassidy and his best friend, the fast-drawing Sundance Kid, as they lead the hole-in-the-wall gang at the turn of the century. As the Wild West is slowly being tamed, their train robberies attract the attention of a relentless posse hired by the railroad, forcing them to flee. Along with Sundance's lover, Etta Place, they escape to Bolivia, hoping to start a new life. However, their unfamiliarity with the language and terrain leads them back to a life of crime, culminating in a final, desperate stand against the Bolivian army, from which there seems to be no escape. Coming in at number 4, Django Unchained. The story is set in the antebellum era Deep South, 2 years before the Civil War. It follows Django, a slave who is freed by Dr. King Schultz, a German-born bounty hunter posing as a dentist. In exchange for his help tracking down a trio of ruthless brothers, Schultz offers Django his freedom and trains him to become a bounty hunter. Django proves to be a natural sharpshooter, but his true goal is to find and rescue his wife, Broomhilda, from the sadistic plantation owner Calvin Candy. Together, they travel to Candy's notorious Candyland plantation, where a dangerous and explosive plan begins to unfold. Coming in at number 3, The Wild Bunch. The story is set in 1913, during the twilight of the American West, and follows an aging gang of outlaws led by Pike Bishop. After a violent bank robbery goes wrong and ends in a bloody ambush, the gang flees south to Mexico to escape the relentless bounty hunters on their trail. There, they are hired by a corrupt Mexican general named Mapache to steal a shipment of weapons from a U.S. Army train for a hefty sum of gold. When the ruthless general betrays one of their own, the remaining outlaws decide to throw aside their code of survival and go out in a final, devastating blaze of glory. Coming in at number 2, Once Upon a Time in the West. The story is set during the expansion of the railroad in the dying days of the Wild West. A ruthless, blue-eyed killer named Frank, hired by the crippled railroad baron Morton, wipes out an entire family to get their valuable land. The family's new bride, Jill, arrives to inherit the property, unaware of the deadly forces that now surround her. A mysterious harmonica-playing loner and a hunted outlaw named Cheyenne both appear in town to protect her. It becomes clear that the stranger has an old score to settle with Frank, leading to an epic and operatic confrontation that will determine the future of the town. Coming in at number 1, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The story is set during the American Civil War and follows 3 ruthless gunslingers. The good is Blondie, a cunning bounty hunter. The bad is Angel Eyes, a sadistic mercenary. The ugly is Tuco, a Mexican bandit. They are all searching for a buried chest containing $200,000 in Confederate gold. The only problem is that each man knows only a piece of the cemetery's location where it is hidden. As the war rages around them, the 3 desperate men form a series of shifting, untrustworthy alliances. They will lie, cheat, and kill their way across the battlefield in a race to be the one standing over the fortune when the guns finally fall silent. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update.